What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now, the other day, I posted a video on r/SupernovaRevenge. If you haven't yet seen it, guys, it's on screen right now, behind the I button. It was an incredible story, really dark. I didn't think it could get worse than that in terms of a serious revenge story. But then you lot told me about r/BlackHoleRevenge. So when I heard about that, I simply had to check out the subreddit, and that is what today's video is. BlackHoleRevenge. Does it get any worse than that? I don't think it does. We're about to find out though with this incredible story. Let's jump straight into it. I'm using a throwaway account, as this might not make me very popular, even on r/BlackHoleRevenge. This all happened to me a few years ago. I told a friend the story of my divorce, and I was told to share. This started a few years ago. I thought we were happy. We were your usual suburban professional couple, financially secure, healthy, good sex life, 2 kids, a 14-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy at the time. I thought we had a healthy social life. We were going through one of your typical married couple rough patches. Both of us were working long hours, not spending enough time together. We were going through some developmental problems with my son, and tensions in the house were running a little high. I noticed that my wife was spending a lot more time on her phone, texting with her girlfriends. I didn't think much of it. I started making a much more concerted effort to get out of work when I could, help around the house, and be more emotionally available. But over the course of a few weeks, the gulf just kept getting wider. I ended up accidentally finding some messages when I charged up an old iPad for my son to use. Her Facebook Messenger was still logged in, and there were a lot of highly questionable messages with a guy from her hometown, who I will call Jim Bob Cooter, or JBC for short. Now, the messages weren't completely inappropriate, but I could tell there were quite a few missing, based on the times and context of the messages. I made a mental note to keep an eye on this and went about trying to fix things up. The next day, after I took the day off to knock out some projects that I thought would make her happy and left her some sweet notes reminding her how much I appreciated her, she was once again in the corner of the living room texting her girlfriends. So I took the boy's iPad to the office and opened up Facebook Messenger, and I watched in real time as my wife tore me down. Her and JBC were making fun of me. All of my flaws, insecurities, and secrets I entrusted to my partner were now fodder for her and JBC. Not only that, but while there wasn't outright sexting, there was a sexual undertone to the whole conversation, especially when she was bashing my performance in the sack. I managed to take some screenshots, but I missed a good bit of the messages because as the conversation was unfolding, she was deleting them. I wasn't emotionally capable of confronting her. I stayed in the office until she was asleep and had a couple of drinks. I took off the next day and spent some time soul searching, drinking, and trying to figure out what to do. The wife came home and wanted to know what was wrong, and I just copped out and told her I'd had a bad day. A couple of minutes later, I was watching the iPad again as the train wreck kept unfolding. So began a couple of solid weeks of taking screenshots, drinking, and detaching myself from the relationship. I knew there was no going back from this. The messages were now overtly sexual with my wife completely into it, and JBC was sprinkling in I love yous. So I consulted a lawyer and got my options and started moving forward. Here's where everything got absolutely surreal. Watching the messages, I found out JBC was coming to town to spend a week of quality time with my wife in a pretty nice hotel. I was missing a good bit of the info. They must have had a phone conversation about it at some point, but I was able to infer enough to get the when and where. Sure as heck, the next day my wife is buttering me up and wanting to take a spa weekend with the girls to relax. And when she gets back, we can really focus on our marriage. I just go with it, all the way. It's the greatest idea she's ever had, and I'll do anything to get us back on track. I get with the lawyer and have him draft a strong separation agreement, stating that she would move out. She would get weekend visitation, no child support in the interim until the divorce is final. Then I sit through the most agonizing 2 weeks of my life. After all this, most of my feelings for her are completely gone, and I'm just seething with anger like I've never felt before. D-Day arrives. I take the day off work. I withdraw half of any money in any accounts we are joint on, and I leave her half alone. I had already redirected my paycheck to a new bank. I close our money market account and get a cashier's check for her half and deposit my half in my new account. I stop at Office Max and print out about 75 pages of Facebook Messenger screenshots, and I kill time because I don't want to be at home. She texts me that she's taking off and that she loves me. I tell her to have fun. I show up to the hotel at about 8:30 and call the wife's phone from the lobby. It goes straight to voice message. They're probably already at it, whatever. I walk up to the front desk and ask if I can use the phone to be connected to JBC's room. It rings 3 times and he picks up. Hello? JBC, can you send my wife down to the lobby, please? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Okay then, I guess I'll have to call Mrs. JBC and get her down here. Now this was totally a bluff. I knew he was married and I knew her first name, but that was it. I could hear inaudible shuffling and panic from JBC. You've got 5 minutes, I said as I hung up. Not even 2 minutes later, my wife comes walking out of the elevator, looking a little flustered. I sit her down in the corner of the lobby. She starts spewing BS, saying it's not what it seems, etc, etc. I'm not here to argue, I reply. The things that are said in this pile of papers are what's going on. The only way I'm not giving a copy of this to our daughter, your parents, and emailing it to everyone we know is if you move out immediately. Now, my wife was very prideful. My daughter was going through a rebellious teen phase, and her knowing probably would have forever killed their relationship. My wife was also her parents' golden child, and she was always worried about what they thought of her. I didn't have much leverage, and shame was my only card to play. Also, her professional life is built up around her image, so I knew she would protect that at all costs. She just starts sniffling, mumbling, but it's inaudible. This is a check for half of the money market account. I've withdrawn my half of the money from all the other joint accounts. You should have more than enough to get a place. At this point, she starts to cry a little. I could almost see the different thoughts and waves of emotions going through her, but now was the time to keep pressing. Here is a separation agreement that I think is more than fair, considering what's going on. I'm gonna need you to look this over, sign it, and leave it at the house when you get your stuff. Do you wanna look through these screenshots? No. Okay, go have fun with JBC. Do not come back to the house or I'm going to send this, and I hold up the ream of screenshots, to everyone. I bounce out of the lobby and I can hear her start to have a breakdown. I get to the car and drive off to a parking lot and have my own crying rage fit. Previously, I would have cried in front of her and yelled and whatnot, but I managed to get my stuff together enough to just pull it off. I don't know what she did that night or over the weekend. She texted and called over and over wanting to talk. I just turned the phone off, and by the time Monday afternoon rolled around, there were movers getting her stuff, and she delivered the agreements. I let her have a talk with the kiddos, basically saying mummy and daddy need some time apart, we still love you, etc. Standard divorce talk. After a week, she wants to have a real talk for the first time. I oblige her because I've already got my stuff together now and I've got an idea of what I want, but I should hear her out. She's so sorry. She wants another chance. She wants her family back. She'll do anything. She's on her knees, crying into my lap. I have no intention of ever taking her back. I tell her she needs to set up marriage counseling on her own at a time that works for me. I tell her that I can't live with her, but she should be around the children to try to maintain a relationship with them. And so starts our new normal of her coming over to the house, cooking and having dinner with the kids 3 nights a week. She always saved me a plate. I made myself scarce. Her cleaning the house and doing the kids' laundry and then heading back to her place. We went to counseling. It consisted of her working through her issues with the therapist, trying to figure out why she did it, her begging for forgiveness, and me stoically playing the victim. I was never gonna give her another chance. All I wanted to do was kill time, establish myself as the primary caregiver to the kids, and establish her as not having residency in the house. After a few months, I go to my own therapist and get diagnosed with depression and PTSD. I ask my work if it's possible to go to part-time for the foreseeable future to deal with my personal issues, and it's no big deal. After 6 months of therapy, I told her that I couldn't forgive her right now, and that I wanted an amicable divorce. But she is still the love of my life, and maybe someday we could give it another try. She was devastated, but agreed to the divorce if I promised to try again someday. Once the divorce was filed, I needed the kids to want to stay with me. I left a Google search for how to survive your wife's infidelity up on the shared PC at home, and I left some printed out infidelity articles not so hidden in the kitchen. My daughter found them and came to me crying. I told her she wasn't supposed to find those, that mum made a mistake, that mum still loves her, and that I would always be here for her. My daughter, who used to hold my wife in such high regard, now wouldn't talk to her without screaming, and it crushed her. Not surprisingly, when the court needed statements from the kids a few months later, little brother followed big sister's lead, and they both wanted to stay with dad in the house they grew up in. When the divorce was finalized, I got the house. I had to buy out some of her equity, but that's okay. I also got primary custody of the kids. I got awarded generous child support due to the difference in our incomes due to me now working part-time. Now, for the last 2 years, I've gotten to live in the house with my kids, work part-time, get the now ex to subsidize it for me, and when she takes the kids over the weekends, I get to have fun with Tinderellas and some FWBs I've cultivated. In the eyes of my kids, I'm the patron saint of fatherhood for taking the high road and always being there. In the eyes of my ex, I'm the one that got away, that she will always pine for. And I get the bonus of having her come over for sex whenever I want it by dangling that carrot of maybe getting back together. But that is never going to happen. And there we go, that is the end of that one. Not the darkest revenge story that I've ever heard, but it still was pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. What OP did when, you found out all about what was going on. I mean, a lesser man, or probably, let me say, a less intelligent man, would have just gone straight to your wife and said, what's going on here? Like, not with any evidence, just, said that he's seen the messages maybe, and just, gone from there. But you wanted to go a little bit further, let it all play out, resign to the fact that this marriage is probably over at this point, given that your wife is cheating on you, and just, go to the hotel where she's having a literal affair, show her a ream of Facebook messages that you screenshotted that just fully expose her, and then threaten to blackmail her, ruining her life if she doesn't say no and divorces you immediately, giving you full custody and everything you want, really. I mean, imagine if those messages had gone to her work, your kids, her parents. Oh my God. The thought of that in my head is just terrifying. Imagine if that was you in that situation. I mean, obviously, don't cheat, guys, but imagine if that was you in that situation and you cheated on your partner and they were threatening to blackmail you for pretty much your entire integrity and, your esteem and your credibility in this world. Would be mental. But hey, she deserved it. She cheated on you. Why? I don't really know. Doesn't really seem to be an answer in this story, but why you would cheat when you have a full-fledged family, 2 kids, a happy marriage? Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't that happy, but hey, yeah, what revenge that was. Wow. Now, don't get me wrong, I know a few of you are probably commenting down below, for r/BlackHoleRevenge, it doesn't seem like it was the top tier of revenge, and I do fully understand that, but because of YouTube, I can't really do too much more. There are darker stories, of murder, of the R word, stuff like that, but, they're just not allowed on YouTube these days, to be honest with you guys, so I can't really go to that length. There are more revenge subreddits. For example, there's one I think which was worldwide is it Galaxy r/Galaxy wide revenge, which sounds like it might even be stronger than r/BlackHoleRevenge. But I don't even think I can go there on YouTube because the video would just be age restricted or maybe even taken down. But guys, let me know if you want me to risk it and see what happens, because I could go to the extremes of doing a video on the literal darkest revenge story I can find on Reddit. It will be demonetized, it will be age restricted, whatever, but if you want to see it, comment down below, drop a like on this video if you do want to see that. You know what, if we get 10,000 likes on this video, I know it's a lot of likes, but 10,000 likes, I would give that to you. I would give that to you. Why not? The darkest revenge story I can find, the darkest possible revenge story I can find on Reddit. Let me know down below if you want to see it, guys. The more I think about it, the more I want to do it, Screw it. Screw YouTube. Let's just do it. Screw the algorithm. Screw the YouTube moderators. Let's do it. 10,000 likes, I'll do it. It's up to you guys. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one, guys. Hope you have enjoyed it. 10k likes, I'll do it for you. Let me know if you want to see it by liking the video. If you do want to see another dark revenge story right away, though, I did post this one the other day. Now, this was on, what was it, r/Supernova Revenge. Pretty equivalent to BlackHoleRevenge. BlackHoleRevenge is supposedly a step up, but hey, that's up to you to decide if it was or wasn't by checking out this video. It's another very dark tale of revenge, a very serious video, let's just say. The stuff that happens in it, but another genius revenge. So click on that, and yeah, let me know. 10,000 likes, and I'll do it for you. See you in a bit, guys.